since I'm on both platforms, I got to record on both platforms. So starting recording on both, and we're going. Okay. All right, so let's start with SPY here. So SPY has a bull flag that we've been mentioning all week that we've been sitting here setting up. Looks like it could be like ascending triangle maybe if it continues to consolidate sideways. We do have a little divergence on SPY, but I think it broke that today. Let me double check it. Yeah, it looks like it broke that today. Yeah, broke that today or the other day actually. So right now it's kind of still has a little divergence on it, but nothing too crazy. We're just kind of going in consolidation sideways. I don't like that we can't get above this 418. Um, that's concerning to me. Not being able to get above 418 is a little concerning for me. If we gap above it tomorrow and then we hold it and push, that'd be nice. I think we do push higher towards 420, 427, and eventually, head higher to that 440 area. We did have earnings on Apple's and was it Facebook and Google. Let me double check on some things here. Let's see Apple first. So Apple here kind of was going sideways here, and after hours we could see that Apple broke out of that consolidation here and held above. So as long as it holds above about 136, as long as it holds above 136, we're still bullish on that. And if this holds above 137 tomorrow, that's nice bullishness into tomorrow with Apple. Could be setting up a bull flag, or it could be setting up a push back down. But as long as it stays above that 136, I think we're in good bullishness. If not, then I think that we have an issue there. Let's go into Facebook. We were bullish on this. We told you to stay bullish on this. We had this channel on the daily here. So we had that channel. We had said on the last live session on Sunday that we thought that Facebook would get to 310 before earnings, and it got to 310.92 right before earnings, and then after earnings it shot back into this bullish channel and hit our target of 325.37, and basically that's where it's sitting at right now. So good job on Facebook. Facebook did some pretty nice action here. So Sunday we said, I believe we were at like 300 area. Yeah, we were at like 300 area here, and we said we're going to 305 and then 310 this week before earnings. We got those targets, and then even after earnings, it came through and pushed through. So Apple and Facebook did well on earnings. Now let's go into the Qs, because the Qs are setting up something interesting that I think. So the Qs kind of setting up this inverse head and shoulders. And we have one shoulder here, and then we had a head, and then we dipped and kind of double dipped that head. It's like a two-headed inverse head and shoulders. Same distance of the heads, same support as the head and resistance. And then here, setting up the right shoulder. So now we're setting up the right shoulder here. Today was a buy zone on that Qs. So held that support. Now it's setting up, to a possible breakout of 342.44 and push higher into 344 and 347 and potentially towards that 356 area. We like the cues. We like the cues setting up nicely. We did have a little divergence on our daily here. We do have a divergence on our daily here. Did try to break it, but it came back in. So tomorrow we're going to see if it breaks through and pushes through. On our daily chart, we do have a bull flag setup, and that bull flag setup could be pushing the 356, maybe even 360. Once we get that push, we see the 20-day coming up closer and closer. That's a good sign. We like to see our moving averages come close to our stock, so that gives us a lot more room to run. So when our stock price is away from our moving averages, then it tells us, hey, we need to pull back a little bit. The stock is going too fast, too far. So here, like that, 20 days, super close. Bull flag build. Everything looks good. Inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour looks good. Like it. So I like that inverse head and shoulders on the Qs. We maintain above 339, well 338.70, and we stay bullish. And we break that 342.44. We add to it, and we're going to be headed towards those targets at 345, 347, 348 area. And then we're going to be taking some profits there. And for the next setup to push to 356. So that looks good. The Qs look good. So the tech automatically, looks good as well because, Facebook and Apple did well. With this inverse head and shoulders, I'm thinking a couple other techs are going to do well as well and push this even higher. So that's a good thing for tech. All right, let's go into another tech, right? Tech that we found today, Snapchat. So Snapchat has this beautiful inverse head and shoulders building on the daily chart. And you can see it even better on the 4-hour chart, how it's just perfect almost. It's just perfect. And it has a massive squeeze on the 4-hour. This one is primed and ready. This one's primed and ready to go. Once it breaks that 64.3, this one's going to 70. This one's going to move. I feel like it's going to move pretty nicely. It already had earnings. Earnings really didn't affect it at all. So it had earnings here, didn't do anything. Today, got above its moving average, the 20-day and the 50, held strong, had a nice candle. It looks good. We had some big volume come in yesterday and today on buy volume. So I think that the snap is just primed and ready to explode. This big squeeze, this big accumulation pattern is just telling us be long, snap, and hold on until the 70s. It might even go past 70s into 75 and maybe even 80s. But if it passes 64.30, then for sure it's going to head towards at least the lower end 70s, 70, 71 areas, maybe 72. But everything else looks good. On the hourly chart, we had this sideways consolidation, and we just got out of it. And we're pushing out of it after hours. So we're getting out of it. I wouldn't be surprised if after hours it gaps up a little bit and then maybe runs. If it breaks at 64.30, then it's definitely going to push and run. We have a squeeze firing on the hourly. Let me check the 30. We got a squeeze firing on the 30. And we have a squeeze set up on the 4-hour. So we got squeeze firing on the 30, squeeze firing on the 1-hour, and then a squeeze setting up to fire on the 4-hour. This one is as primed as you could get. It would only be even better if we had a squeeze setting up on the daily, but 4-hour is good enough. So this inverse head and shoulders, fire up. We're going to break all-time highs if it does. And this one is going to be a nice week or 2 weeks winner. So in the next week or two, this one, well, actually, Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, so we have 2 more days. I think this one could be a runner into the end of the week, into next week. And so these next 2 weeks could be a nice payday for Snap. Okay. So watch that Snap. So watch that Snap. We also had earnings on MMM. You know, we've been long M&M for a while. So we have this bullish channel on M&M, right? 3M, and the earnings gap down, pushed through, hit the 50, reversed it, came back, held that, and then hit that 20-day today. So we're still in this bullish channel. So we're still bullish on this. We hit that our targets of 2,145, and then we kind of pushed down here. We still have our main target of 219, which I believe that we still are going to get. As long as we're still in this bullish channel, as long as we're holding this up, the long calls that we are in, that we're like super long, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them at all. So as long as we maintain this bullish channel, I think that we could do a little dance and then pop it up and continue on going in this uptrend. So M&M, 3M, it's still good to go. I still like it. It had a drop hard, but on the bounce on the 50, there was a bunch of buy volume that came in. And I like that it had a lot of buy volume and it reversed and confirmed that reversal today. So we had a candle that closed right above the high of yesterday. So that confirmed the reversal there as we dropped down, reversed it, confirmed it. So I'm still long it. I like it a lot. So going back into other stocks that we've been looking at, IBM still setting up this daily bull flag. It's a textbook bull flag. Nice big volume, low sell-off volume. We're just consolidating here in this little channel. Once we break that 145 area, we're going to head to 150 and possibly that 154. We're still eyeing a possible breakout this week, end of month, right? So this is end of month, so end of week. So we go into our weekly. We could see that, you know, we're setting up this little candle here, but it would be nicer if that candle was bigger because we're having a nice breakout, especially on the monthly chart. Or on the monthly chart, we would like to see that candle a lot bigger, and we would like to see the squeezes fire off. Squeezes fire off on the monthly, and a nice bigger candle on the weekly would be very, very good if we could fire off this bull flag. Now this bull flag can fire off tomorrow or Friday. Definitely can. So I wanna have you keep in mind that the moving averages are coming up. Okay, they're coming up nicely. We can consolidate for a little bit, but we have been consolidating for about 5-6 days. So that in itself is telling you, hey, bull flag is already set and it's primed to go. Doesn't mean it could go tomorrow or the next day, but it doesn't mean it can't go tomorrow or the next day. So can go. Keep an eye on that. Put a set alerts, you know, at 140, 144.74. That's a breakout. So that's a breakout. Crosses above that. Cross above that. That's a breakout. Now we cross below that 139.48. You know, we're going to be in trouble because we're going to back test that 137 and that 20-day. But don't see it doing that, as that 141.50 support has been strong and the sell volume has been minimal, been extremely minimal. Going into a lower time frame, we could see that 141.50 has just been holding tight. We are building a squeeze on the 4-hour chart, which is good. And we're also setting up, I think, a hourly bull flag. Let's see here. Yeah, we're setting up an hourly bull flag here. Let's see, anything else? Nope, just hourly bull flag on IBM, so that looks good. Hourly bull flag, and then everything else not looking bearish at all, looking strong and bullish. So that looks good. Let's go into, where's my pen at? Here we go. So we got SPY, we got QQQ, IBM, MMM, Snap. All right, let's go into NEO. NEO we had talked about last week, and we had told you on the live session that once NEO gets to that 50-day to take profits, because that is our first profit taking area. So that is our first profit taking area, so we take profits there. NEO got to that 50. If you didn't take profits, it did sell off and pull back. Now it's at support at 40.50. So that support at 40.50 is holding so far, and that's a 4-hour support. So we got a 4-hour bull flag here. So we got a 4-hour, a nice big trend, and then a pullback. Lower volume today. Pretty good buy volume today. So it's just consolidating now. We do have earnings on 4/29, so Friday. Well, actually tomorrow after hours. Right? Today's the 28th. Yeah. Tomorrow after hours, we have earnings. So would I be long here? I would be long just because I like this whole setup. It's coming off this long-term uptrend, and I don't think it's gonna pop down. But we got a squeeze firing to the upside, which is always great. Earnings are always 50-50, but I do like the chart. The chart looks great. RSI above 50, stochastics up, DMI's up, squeeze is firing up. I would like to see more volume come in, but this bull flag that's setting up on the daily could bring that volume for earnings and pop it. So long term, I still like NEO. We still have a gap at 58, 76, and then we have a major targets at 72 as well. So we do have room to grow on NEO. So would I be long earnings? Looks good. Looks good. We have a gap fill at 48 and 59, basically. So 48 and 59 are going to be good targets to go through. We do have that nice bullish divergence still on the day. Let me grab this. We have this nice bullish divergence on the daily still, and it's looking great. So would I be long earnings again? Yes, I think I would. So it makes sense. Everything on the chart makes sense. So that's what we're looking at now. 4-hour chart looking great. So stochastics telling us we bottomed. Everything looking great. I like NEO a lot. All right. So NEO, and then last week as well, we were talking about space. Let's get into space here. So space, here we had a bullish divergence on space on the 4-hour chart. Nice bullish divergence. I believe we got in last week, or was it earlier this week? I think probably, yeah, I think we got in on, was this Monday? Or Friday. I think it was Friday then, or Thursday or Friday, somewhere last week or this week. We got in around 21, 22 area. And then now it's at 23.50, hit our first targets yesterday at 23.64. Came down a little bit, but we're getting in this little trend here. So we got an uptrend formed, at least on the 4-hour chart, and we're pushing towards that 25 area. Now, remember, we have downtrend resistance at that area of, let's see here, let's say 25 area. So if we break out, I mean, probably earnings would be the catalyst for this one to break that downtrend here. Earnings is going to be 5/4. So next week earnings is going to be. So this might not do too much until earnings, but we have a major gap fill at 26. 2660. We have a major gap fill. Let's see that low 2639. 2639 gap fill on the daily. All right. So major gap fill at that area. And then we have, do we have any other gap fills? Yes, we have a major gap fill here. So major gap fill at 4180. All right. Let's see, gap fill here. All right, gap fill looks good. So we got 1 and 2. That gap fill at 4180 basically doubles this from where it is now. And I like where we are now because we're right on that long-term uptrend. We're right on that long-term uptrend, and let's see, we had a reversal candle put in last week, and now we're pushing up to confirm that reversal, which can happen. And let's see on the monthly, what kind of candle on the monthly, we hit that 20-day, and if we push up and get to like let's see, this is the monthly chart. So actually earnings is next week after the month ends. So possibly we're gonna have to wait for earnings for that move. But I still like that weekly chart. That weekly reversal, and here I would want to see a little bit more volume this week and maybe get to 25, maybe a little bit above 25 this week. That would be great. If we could pop this, because we have that resistance here at that 2360, kind of building an ascending triangle. If we could pop this back up towards the 20-day at 2580, that would be a nice sign, especially if we fill this gap at 26 by the end of the week. That'd be 2 days. That'd be a big move for space if that happens. But either way, I like it. The 4-hour chart is telling us the bullish divergence, and then everything else, it's above 50. RSI is above 50. Stochastic's looking good. Momentum slowing to the downside, and stochastic's kind of slowing to the downside. But other than that, we're maintaining the uptrend on the 4-hour chart, and we're establishing a bull flag on the 4-hour chart. So that looks good. That looks nice. So space, one to watch for earnings next week. And if you got in space with me last couple days or last week, then it's already doing extremely well. All right, so we got space. 2 stocks we talked about last week was Visa. And we said that Visa was in this bullish channel, and we had our targets of 231 and 235.50. That held our support here. We rallied up and we hit 1 and 2 targets. So the second target hit today, and it kind of pulled back. We're still in this bullish channel, so we are still bullish on it until we kind of break this channel down. But I remember we said that we were extremely bullish on it because we had that breakout. That breakout has hit its first target on the breakout, and then the second target is 263. Going into the weekly, we can see that uptrend has just been almost perfect. Just up, 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 up. Higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher lows. It's just looking good. So hit that target there. Hope you guys did good on that one. Going into a lower time frame to see what's going on here. So it still looks like it's bullish. It still looks like it's building a nice bull flag. It still had some big buy volume on there. I don't see. Let me go back to the 4-hour and see if we got a divergence here. Okay, let me zoom in here. All right, we got a little divergence here. Our stock is going higher while our RSI is going flat. It is going flat. We got a little concern, but not too much concern. So I don't think Visa is just done just yet. So looking at Visa, I don't think it's done just yet. All right, let's go into Microsoft. I mean, not Microsoft, Mastercard. So Mastercard, we have said that it was in a bullish channel as well, and we like Mastercard a lot. We like Mastercard a lot. Hit our support here, 374.46, and it hit our first and second target of 400. We did say that it was going to hit 400. It hit 400. Earnings are before market tomorrow, so let's see what happens tomorrow. But I think it will do good, considering that we are in a breakout, and the first target on that breakout is 412.75. I think that Mastercard still has room to go. We still have room in this channel, so that could definitely push up to that 412 or even more, 420, and then come back down to that 412. We'll see, but it looks good overall. Mastercard and Visa look pretty nice. Okay, so watch Mastercards in the morning, and I think that if Mastercard does push, it might hit the top of the channel, and you would have to look for a possible reversal in that area intraday for like a scalp on puts, possibly. If it breaks the channel and it holds up above the channel, then you want to keep buying the dip on this one because it's going to keep ripping and going higher. All right, so we got Visa, Mastercard. Some new ones I want to look at were CAT. So CAT has been in this bullish channel for a while from 100, and it's already at 237. And that was I think that was it's only been about a year, and this happens, right? So here's one thing that caught my eye. We have a bearish divergence on CAT. We have earnings coming up, but this bearish divergence wants to break up. It wants to break to the upside, and I think CAT does want to move up a little bit more. We have a nice big squeeze forming on the daily. It's pretty big. It's a very big squeeze. It's about, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 16 days, 16 days of squeeze forming. Going into the 4 hour, we got a squeeze forming as well with the momentum to the upside. Everything is looking good on the bullishness. Hourly is looking good on bullishness as well. Going to the weekly chart. Weekly chart doesn't have a bearish divergence on there. It does have a couple signs of getting tired, but this channel is holding pretty nicely. If we break out of this channel, then that's going to be extremely bullish. If it doesn't, if it pops back down, it's going to be a buy the dip situation. And let's go to monthly. So monthly chart, we see that it rallied up hard, then kind of went sideways here. Sideways here for a while, and then now it's breaking up again and ripping up higher. So we're gonna see. I think it does go a little bit higher to 253 area at least. I'm not sure about 273. I have to see how it acts after earnings, but I think that 253 is gonna be hit. It looks pretty good. I like it. It looks good. I don't see why it wouldn't want to go and hit those targets, especially when this divergence breaks. It's already trying to break. It's not there yet, but I want to see that divergence breaks. And once that divergence breaks, then this one should be off to 253. Okay. And going in that same category, we have Deere. So Deere almost has the same thing, but it's not as strong of a chart as CAT. but it does have a big giant squeeze on it forming. Um, Earnings is a little bit farther away. It's about 2 or 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away for earnings, and but it's holding that support nicely. It does have a little divergence on it here, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So we do have that divergence on there. We have the squeeze forming. We have stochastics pushing back up. So we're looking at this. We want to see that divergence break, and then we want to see this continue on to 409, possibly 430. We like the weekly. The weekly hit that resistance, kind of going sideways, making room to pop up and head to that 409 area. And then, whatever happens on earnings is going to happen in 3 weeks. But Cat should put an idea of what's going to happen on earnings for DE. Okay. So here, looking at that. All right. And then here, let me see here. Let me see here. See here. So, okay, BA today had earnings and pretty much didn't do nothing. Pretty much did nothing. It gapped down, sold off, but we're still in this descending triangle. The sell volume today wasn't really bad for earnings, for bad earnings. They had a really bad earnings. So considering how bad their earnings were, the sell-off was actually very minimal. This is actually, I've seen regular days that had worse sell-offs than what BA had today, and it actually bounced and reversed right when it hit that lower end of the descending triangle. So this tells me that, hey, it's not as weak as some people think, right? So here we gonna check on. So the stochastics is trying to turn up. Let's go on the weekly chart. Weekly chart. Weekly chart, not really telling me much. Let me look at this. Nothing yet on the weekly chart. Let's see, monthly chart. Monthly chart. The RSI is trying to get above 50. DMI is trying to cross. We do have a possible, I mean, depends on how the week closes, but this could turn into a dark cloud cover. If it stays like this, it'll close like a dark cloud cover. If it doesn't, then it's not going to do anything. It's not going to be anything. But so far, it looks like a descending triangle, and it's holding pretty nicely, actually pretty strong. Going into the 4-hour chart. Going into the 4-hour chart, what do I see here? I see a kind of big divergence here. So I mean, we have that low and this low, and then the RSI here, we have a really higher low, really higher low, really higher low. So that's a bit of a divergence, not a major divergence, but it is a minor divergence. Looking at that, so we did have buyers coming in today. Stochastics telling us, hey, we're probably going to turn up tomorrow on here. Okay, let's go back. So we still have some days in this descending triangle, but it's not breaking the low, and it actually almost matched this low here, but it's not breaking this low here. 232 wasn't even touched. We filled this gap. So now what are we going to do? We're going to consolidate a little bit and then take off. Let's see. Stochastics on the hourly telling us we're going to turn up. And, basically we double bottom on this low. Never touched that low. So I'm still long BA. Still long my August calls. Still long them. still thinking that it's going to break out and it's going to head to that area of 300. So BA still in this bullish pennant, hasn't lost it. And maybe when it loses it, we'll think differently. But as of now, it's still holding and it's holding strong. And considering that it had really bad earnings, and it didn't do pretty much what everybody was thinking it was going to do, which was tank, because that's what it likes to do. I think that it's a good indication that, hey, this one has a strong possibility of breaking up and breaking up soon. Within the next, I want to say the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks, if not sooner, this should break up, and then head towards our areas of interest, 270 and 300. All right. So, all right. Let's see here. You got 608. So I believe not that one. Here we go. All right. So I believe P, you here, P? Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you here. All right, yeah. P wanted to go over UPS. Here we go. UPS. All right, let's see here. All right. There you go.
Yep.
All right, P.
Yep. So I remember us talking about UPS 10-year monthly. And I was mentioning some August 200 calls, or the stock was poised to go to 200 based on the consolidation we saw, and then the width of the box taken to the upside, and this is where we are, near 200. So yeah, so we had this first I want to go over this just all the trend lines real quick, so we just get those out the way. There's some resistance here, as we could tell, right? Blasted through that monthly resistance, right? So now we're going to go ahead and go on the weekly. All right. And after our first denial at that first low that we made from here on that denial at the monthly trend line, we take the next available high, come here. So we have this one right here as a form of resistance, as we can see, right? And which was causing us hell just a couple weeks prior to earnings, right? Resistance there. And then we come over here and we can see there's also a form of support from that consolidation box. Right. All right. So breaking it down, we had broke the resistance last year, right? And we consolidated in between 175-ish and around 155. So about a $20 box, right? We add the $20 box to the top from this breakout at 175, and that gives us a target of 195. I mentioned whether or not earnings stimulates this, I do think the stock is poised to go there. And I said that, these are the times where, you look at certain stocks that are in these certain setups where they're consolidating for a long time, such as like Amazon, right? A couple, 8 or 9 month consolidation, long periods of consolidation. And then you look for those breakouts upon earnings. And I didn't really know if they were going to beat earnings, but they blew it out of the water, and that just proves it. Same thing said for IBM, right? Those same setups, those same fundamentals will follow on those long call plays when we start looking at it from the monthly down to the weekly, and then those forms of resistances we start establishing and seeing within the consolidation box. We saw resistance there, fall back down, supported heavily at 155. Tried again, fell back down, supported heavily at 155, and then from there on, we had sort of the same rally we saw throughout most of the industrials in the month of March, when we had MMM and IBM just showing just true strength in the month of March. We saw the same thing. So for UPS and FedEx and all the industrials. So I just wanted to point out a good execution on this earnings play. They did try to fake out, but we ended up doing the breakout. One last touch from the consolidation box right before earnings the day before, and it still can continue. My targets ahead for UPS. My first target was the measured box of the consolidation that we were in, which ultimately on the daily was what I would say is a descending triangle or a weekly bull flag, however you want to call it. But we clearly had a lower highs being made throughout the consolidation, and we had a strong support at 155, which gives us the descending triangle setup. And then we had like I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago, the same technique can be involved with a lot of different stocks, right? You have a lot of SMAs moving or actually converging together, and you see some sort of any hint, any dog sniff, any kind of hint of bullish divergence, you can almost anticipate the upside is coming to follow through and expand these SMAs. So now UPS's job is to find more buyers up here and continue to trend higher, because we are in uncharted territory. So buyers up here are fresh and brand new. Only investors up here are going to be selling, are the ones who accumulated down here, or fresh buyers. So UPS knocked it out of the park. I just wanted to mention it. Still looks like it has room to run, as we saw the day after. It ran, and then we had a sort of a consolidation, right, through for that first day of earnings, and then we saw another pop today. So we are still trending. There's still separation between the stochastics on the 4-hour. The RSI is still good. DMI buyers are still in control, so buyers still like this stock. We're still making highs. So yeah, nothing really to say about UPS other than it was this stock is definitely still going. With ultimately the target that I have for UPS is at 204, based on the move from the recent move before the earnings on the bull flag. So yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. All right, guys. Hope you guys banked on that one hard. Let's see. Get my stuff back here. So let's take a look at BABA really quickly here. So BABA, we had mentioned to you guys earlier in the week to get long it, as it was going to go to our first target here of I think we got on the 4-hour there. 4-hour here. We had mentioned that this downtrend was going to break, and we had mentioned it like right here, somewhere right here. So the downtrend was going to break, and it was going to start running, and then BABA ran, hit our first target at 236, and then today hit our second target at 239. So BABA was a nice payday this week. It's been kind of acting a fool lately, but today it acted right. I mean, this week it acted right, pushed through. We're still in this descending triangle on the daily. So I know there's a lot of lines going on here, but basically these, here, how many, get this line here for you. Just make that one purple. And basically this one purple.
Yeah, it looks ready to go, man. It's just it's hugging the trend line from the uptrend.
Yep. So it's if you see these two purple lines intersect here, this thing is getting super tight. super tight. And if we do pull back, we did pull in a topping tail today right at our price target of 239. Our price targets, they hit pretty well. So they hit this one, it held the 50 though. That is a good thing. It held the 50. This was a precaution. I did get some hedges at the end of the day as a precaution because of the topping tail that we did hit, and we hit this long-term resistance here. But it is holding the 50-day. If it continues and consolidates sideways, there's a good chance that this has a chance to pop and break up. Again, remember we've been saying that Baba has a bullish divergence, and it's still there. It's still there. That big
Yeah,
bullish divergence is still there. We got
on the daily.
some, yeah, on the daily.
Yeah,
We got that resistance at 60. Once we break that, I mean, this thing is gonna rock and roll. I mean, there's
yeah.
so many
You
opportunities
would
out
be
in the
able to
market
treat
right
the
now.
RSI no different than a chart, right?
Yep,
With that ascending triangle.
yep,
Nice setup
and
right there.
definitely does have that still have that W pattern. And I think I foresee this. I foresee a massive move on Baba coming, like one of these big
Yep.
candles like this. I see this coming soon to 290, and then it's gonna go and set up, and possibly it's gonna hit this 337. So we're going to have a big candle up towards like 280, 290, and then we're going to consolidate maybe a little, maybe a week or two, and and then we're going to have another big candle up past 300, and complete this W pattern. So this W pattern is basically screaming at us that we're going to break
Yeah.
300, and this descending triangle is screaming at us that we're going to have a big breakout. So all things, if they line up correctly and what we foresee, we think Baba is going to just absolutely kill it. Maybe it's earnings, maybe it's not. I think earnings is like mid next month. Yeah, 521. So that's like 3 weeks. I think we're gonna have a pop before that, and then earnings might push through and have an even bigger pop. But I think this one it's setting up. I just say keep buying August, keep buying August, keep buying August, because guess what? They're cheap. They're cheap right now, and when it goes, it's gonna be like, wow, this is crazy. And you're gonna want to sell, and then you're gonna be looking back and you'll be like, dang, it's already 300. Man, that thing came fast, and you're gonna bank hard. So I mean, I love it. I get a lot of heat because I keep buying it, but you know what? Once it pops, it's gonna pop hard, and it's gonna look good. Baba's setup looks beautiful. Stochastics look beautiful. RSI looks
Yeah.
beautiful. I think the weekly. Um, no, the weekly, is it the monthly? No, there should be a squeeze setting up soon because there's too much consolidation going on. I don't see any squeezes yet, but we do see a possible bull flag setting up on the 4 hour. So that could be good. 4 hour chart looks great. Again, I only got those hedges because of that topic tail on the daily. But other than that, man, this chart looks amazing. And, even if you want to buy a year out on Baba, it'll be worth it because you know what? This setup, you know, imagine you come in August, right? And the price is 337, right? 100 points away from it is now. It's 237. It's basically 237 right now. If we get 337 by August, that's 100 points. That's almost 50% of the stock. That's a major move. Major move. I like the setup. I like what it's looking like. It's getting tighter and tighter. And this setup here, it's not anything different. You see this descending triangle, basically,
Yeah.
not anything different than BA. It's not anything different than BA's descending triangle. So BA BABA could be 300 by August, and that's why we keep buying 300 August, because
Both of them.
it's a both of them could be popping and rocking, and they both. I think BABA has a little less room, BA has a little bit more room, but BA's earnings are over, so that's gone. It's even better to buy now because now you don't have that earnings premium in. So now you get even
Yep.
cheaper, and you have this possibility of popping up hard. And I mean, look at the risk reward ratio of, like, are you gonna typically we had this massive move down. Are we gonna get another massive move down after the everything's supposed to be opening in 2 months, and you think airlines are not going to have flights? I mean, flights are already picking back up, right? And you don't think we're going to continue a rise? It just makes sense. Just makes sense. Yeah, it's been a hard ride, but if you're buying time, that time it's gonna set you free. That time is gonna help you when it takes off, and you're gonna see everything that you're down in like 2 days after it starts running, it's going to be back up. I swear, Baba was down hard on my August 300 calls, and I was down hard. And then today they were almost break even, and it's been running for like 3 days, basically running for 3 days, and they were basically almost break even. So I mean, as long as you got that time on these big setups, I think you're gonna be
Yep.
fine. You're gonna be fine. Let's see. Somebody asked about AMD. So AMD, so AMD had good earnings. It gapped up to our gap fill at 88.80, which was our target, right? That's what our target was. And see, that's the thing about targets sometimes. They work so well sometimes that they kind of sell off hard right on those targets. So we had anticipation, right? We anticipated that we would rally up towards 88.80 to 92, this zone, and this was our pullback zone. So we hit that 88.80. Basically, what was the high? The high today was 89.20. So 89.20 was the high. So we hit our pullback zone and we pulled back. We broke through the 100-day and we got back underneath 86.19. Now, we're still in an uptrend, so don't be discouraged. We did have high sell volume, I'll give you that, but we're still in an uptrend. We made a higher high, we haven't made a lower low yet. This gives us a possibility of making a higher low and then setting up and pushing higher. Now, what did we say already? We said that QQQs look like it's going to take off. We had Apple and Facebook earnings do well. Google did well. A lot of techs are doing well. It looks good, but this could have been a shakeout to consolidate, make a bull flag, and then push through. Maybe even reverse tomorrow, gap back up above 86.70, maybe 86, and then push through that 100-day, and then set up to push. And just wanted to shake out some people. It happens. It could happen. It could be that. So that is something that we're looking at. I don't know. The 4-hour chart is in the chop zone, and these two lines are the chop zone. So we're in the chop zone. So we're gonna have to look at what the price action is. But Stochastics is telling us, hey, bottom is forming on the 4-hour, and also on the 4-hour, the RSI is right at that 50. On the 1-hour, Stochastics is telling us, hey, we're at a bottom, and RSI is below 50. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But we are still making a higher, we're still not making a lower low on AMD. We're still maintaining an uptrend on AMD. So it's not crazy. I mean, look at this previous resistance here. This previous resistance at this zone right here
Support.
is acting as support now. So as long as we hold up above that and we form up, we could form a nice actual bull flag and then pretty much take off to what we're anticipating. So we anticipated a push towards this pullback zone, then we pull back here, and then we take off here. That's why this arrow's here. We said we'll pull back to this zone, and then we'll take off there. So that could be a possible situation that we're going through. And that is what AMD, we talked about Baba. And then I think the last one that we are going to talk about is Docusign here. So Docusign, we mentioned that we're in a bullish channel. And today, it's basically forming a bull flag. And it's holding that 100-day. And it's just making room. And it's making room for what? It's making room so that it could go and move higher, so that it could move higher towards that 255 area. 255 is our target on our Docusign. And now why is that? Because that is our downtrend. That is our downtrend line here. So that 255 area, remember we said we wanted to see that cup and handle, that cup form, so that we could see a push. We do have the squeeze firing to the upside. We're getting above that 20-day. So we get that push up, that 255, maybe even that 265. That would be a nice push, and then I would take profits in that zone and then see it kind of consolidate and hold above, and then think about getting back in later on. Okay. All
I
right.
got some for Docu. So you said 255, right?
Yeah.
So on the 4 hour, there's a cup and handle with the bull about $20 width. Given that on the, I mean, add that to the breakout at 234, that's 254, 255, right?
Right.
So I think Docu is set up to push higher once we break over 234, right? So we have this cup, and then we have this handle, suspected, still making higher highs and higher lows. Still have positive trending RSI on the 4 hour. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. The height of this cup and handle on the 4 hour from 234 down here to this low at 215, we have $20, and then the move up to take us for that execution would be at 255. So big target tomorrow for Docu is probably going to be breaking over 234. As we know, that's clear resistance as it was yesterday and today. And then we have some solid support intraday here at 228 that we can hold for tomorrow and continue to consolidate in this cup or in this handle. But Docu looks good. And I think we talked about this last week, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Docu pushing up this week. So we did. I did some lottos earlier in the week. We caught this big move up right here. This big move up earlier in the week. So yep. But looking for a breakout over 234, and then ultimately 239, and then that should be the signal for 255 as a primary target.
Yep. All right. Looks good. So we do have bullishness in the markets. QQQs looking great. Look at that QQQs, that inverse head and shoulders, and after hours it's trying to push. We break that 342.44. This thing can go. We're looking at that, and definitely break that bearish divergence. Break that. We break that 342. We break that divergence, and we start heading up higher. Let me see. Here we go. So we had mentioned to you guys earlier in the live session, I believe, about Amazon. Where was it? Yeah, Amazon here. I think we did that Sunday. Yes, Sunday. We said, watch this downtrend. If this downtrend, I said, if we get to 320, 3,265. I said buy, buy, buy. I said that is
Buyer.
buy. If you get there, that was a buy, right? But we didn't get there. We held this 3,300 level. I think that's where we were when we talked about it. I said that 3,300 level is holding strong. But if we got to 32.65, that was like a buy. You gotta buy that. But now it's breaking out. It held at 3,300, and then it pushed up, broke this downtrend, back tested it here, and now it's pushing. We hit our targets of 34.2450 right on that day, and then we held above it, which is always a good sign that it's going to go higher. And now we're pushing, and now our next target is 35.50. So it's 35.50. Looks like it's going to get it probably before earnings, and then pull back. But then our next target is 3,700, then 4,000 and 42 and 4,500, and even 5,000 is our target. So Amazon looks good. Remember, we said that we need to get out of this range. This range here is a killer, right? It's consolidating, right? It's consolidating. But once this goes, remember, just like on UPS that P just told us about, this range here, this breakout range, if we get out of here,
Yeah. No different.
Amazon,
No
our
different.
target is 4,000. Easy.
Yep.
So 4,000, easy. Target. So we're testing to get above that range. See, we're trying to get above it. Earnings is probably going to shoot us past it, and then 4,000 is coming. So either earnings pushes us back, or earnings brings us back down here. If earnings for any other reason, which I doubt, earnings is going to drop because Shop had amazing earnings, and
Yeah.
Amazon and Shop, you could compare them. They're both online producers. So this takes off. 4,000 is coming quick, and be prepared for 5,000 in the coming year. I mean this year. If all things work out exactly, this consolidation that we've been having here, it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So
Yeah.
let's look at this, right? We'll see this bull flag set up that looks like it's ready to go, and we go to was it UPS?
Yep.
And what do we see? Almost
No
exactly
different.
the same.
No
Almost
different.
exactly the same. No different. So be prepared for a nice week. If Amazon, some for unforeseeable reason, tanks and pulls back, that's going to be a gift for you to be buying, be buying, be buying. So this cup and handle is already trying to break out. So that is a good sign that whenever you have, it's called domino effect, right? So whenever you have multiple different time frames having bullish positions and they're about to break out, it's like a domino. One's going to trigger the next. Trigger, 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 trigger. And that's going to what? Push, 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 push higher. So you're going to see this cup and handle on the daily fire. Then you're going to see the bull flag on the weekly fire. Then you'll see the bull flag on the monthly fire. And those are going to just be a massive candle.
Like clockwork.
Massive candle, right? And then you're going to be like, wow, this is like 500% in a 10 minutes. Well, because it's triggering a multi-level breakout, multi-pattern breakout, and it'd be just firing all cylinders. Bop, 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 bop.
And
So keep eye on these. Lottos, sure. Longs, sure. Earnings, Amazon earnings is always crazy, but man, this thing looks so good. Looks so good right now. If it doesn't, if Biden tries to come in and does something that, some kind of thing that just messes the market up, then maybe it affects. But typically, Amazon, no matter what situation, whether it was a pandemic or anything, it's always done pretty well. Especially in a lot of major drops, Amazon's earnings have skyrocketed back up. So keep an eye on that. And that is tomorrow after market close. So keep an eye on that one. All right, guys, it is 6:36. We are all out of time. I hope that we went over enough stocks and kind of went over everything that you kind of wanted us to. We kind of went over quite a few things. We reviewed quite a few things, and you know, I think that the past couple weeks that we've been providing you guys these favorites that we have during the week, I think they've been rocking and rolling. So Neo, Space, Baba, BA, what else? UPS, Docusign. All
M&M.
these ones they've been just rocking and rolling. So I mean, hopefully you enjoy it. I'm gonna have to stop the session now, so I'm gonna stop the recording.